Thanks, Nikki. You're right. Iowa Wrestling had a bittersweet duel yesterday. The Hawkeyes closed out their Big Ten schedule by welcoming in a ranked rival into Carver. Collin Murphy has more.
The Iowa wrestling team welcomed in Big Ten rival Nebraska into Carver Hawkeye Arena Sunday afternoon in a battle of top 10 teams. Starting at 125 pounds, number 1 ranked Thomas Gilman took care of business, defeating Tim Lambert of Nebraska 6-3. The number 3 ranked Iowa Hawkeyes started off their match against number 6 ranked Nebraska exactly how they would want, with a win by Thomas Gilman. Next up was Corey Clark, who was upset by Nebraska's Eric Montoya. After his win, Montoya made a questionable cutthroat gesture to the crowd. Unfortunately for Nebraska, the gesture riled up Carver and the Iowa bench. The Hawkeyes never looked back.
Montoya, he made us pay. And you know what? Our team had to bail. We had to bail ourselves out after that. I mean, they were pretty riled up over in that bench, and I don't notice much. I let my brother take care of that, noticing the other bench, but I did notice that they were riled up over there after that match. That was a big rallying point for them.
After their first loss of the match, the Hawkeyes rattled off wins in the next 6 matches. Alex Meyer and Sammy Brooks scored the most points for the Hawks, with a tech fall by Meyer and a pin by Brooks. The Hawkeyes defeated the Cornhuskers 27-9.
Overall, good win, and move on from it.
This is a great win. I mean, McChrystal is a tough opponent. He wrestled my workout partner, Kyle Springer, in high school. I remember watching those matches. Just got to keep wrestling.
At 12-2, the Hawkeyes will finish out the season with the national duels and then on to the Big Ten tournament. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Collin Murphy, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
With 2 losses on the season, the 3rd-ranked Hawkeyes are still in good shape to make a run at the Big Ten and national championships. Although wrestling had a good weekend, there was another men's team that didn't have the same winning experience. Iowa basketball played Michigan State on Saturday. The Hawks were leading 32-31 at half, but couldn't keep that lead and fell to the Spartans 77-66. That leaves the Hawkeyes 14-12 on their overall record and 6-7 in Big Ten play. Now in women's basketball, they played number 13 Ohio State on Sunday. The Hawks fell to the Buckeyes 88-81. Although it was a tough loss for the Hawks, they had 4 players in double digits for points. The Hawks will play Northwestern on Thursday at home at 7 p.m. Now another men's sport that is actually doing particularly well is the men's gymnastics team. The Hawkeyes had their first meet back in Carver on Friday since upsetting number 9 Cal on the road.
On Friday, the Hawkeyes competed against 2 teams in the top 5 when they took on number 1 Oklahoma and number 5 Minnesota.
Hawks got off to a rocky start on the floor and pommel horse events, but their night was defined by how they came back despite the rough beginning.
Continuity of the group, honestly, all the way through, even with mistakes. And that was a big component of don't get stuck if you make a mistake. Let's move on to the next routine and do a better job. And they did a really good job of staying together and supporting each other in that aspect.
Comeback consisted of strong performances by senior Mark Springer on the rings, junior Dylan Ellsworth on the parallel bars, senior Corey Patterson along with junior Austin Hodges on the pipe, and sophomore Rogelio Vazquez on the parallel bars and rings.
Been doing a lot of routines on those events and focusing on lines, so just the little details, and they've been hitting on us on stick landings and not taking any tense off, so that's what I was focusing on today.
Another big contributor in the meet was senior Andrew Gatto, who finished 2nd in all events.
This meet definitely told us and showed everyone that they're not much better than any of our Hawkeyes, and it gave us confidence to show that we can pull up 414, 415 scores without being at our top-tier performance.
Despite their strong finish, the Hawkeyes ended in 3rd place behind the top-ranked Sooners in Minnesota with a final score of 414.56.
Even though the Hawkeyes finished 3rd, they'll look to build off their highest team score this season when they compete this weekend in Las Vegas. Reporting from inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Lucy Rohden, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawkeyes fly to Las Vegas this weekend to compete in the Winter Cup Challenge. Now in women's gymnastics on Saturday afternoon, there was an electric crowd as the Hawks beat the University of Illinois and the University of Illinois Chicago. The 22-ranked Hawks scored a season high of 196.475 points. Molly Drenth was a runner-up in the all-around with a score of 39.225. Her teammate senior Angel Metcalf had some impressive numbers as well, finishing 3rd with an all-around score of 39.175. Metcalf also finished 1st in the beam with a score of 9.925. She commented on her win, saying that she, quote, always feels confident and comfortable during that event, end quote. Freshman Claire KG and junior Lainey Snyder tied for second in floor. And sophomore Rose Pierkowski took first in vault, along with Sullivan taking first in the uneven bars. Coach Larissa Libby has been very pleased with her team lately. She mentioned that, quote, they are becoming champions by the way they support each other, end quote. The Hawks look to continue their late season success Friday night at a quad meet in D.C. Iowa also had several other sports on the road over the weekend. At the Iowa State Classic, the track and field team set 11 personal bests in different events. The women's tennis team also had a successful weekend. They faced off against Western Michigan and Marquette and beat both of them this past Saturday. For the first time since 2008, the Hawks are 8-0. As for men's tennis, they dropped their first matchup of the season to the Oregon Ducks this weekend, 5-3. The women's golf team couldn't come up with a win either. They were at a collegiate quad match on Saturday in Arizona and ended up third out of the teams of Colorado State, BYU, and Idaho. Check us out tomorrow where we will give you a preview of baseball season because it is just around the corner. Nikki, back to you.